Hi students, welcome back to Bio class. I'm Savita, your bio teacher. In today's session, we are going to discuss MCQ question related to the topic of reproductive health. A small topic where you can gain a lot of marks. And I hope you have gone through the synopsis very well and you have also practiced n number of MCQ. With this, we're going to start with today's session. But before starting today's session, I hope that you follow the following techniques. Read the question, come up with your option, then go into the 4 options, select which is the right answer, and let's see how many questions you are going to mark correct. With this, let's start today's topic, reproductive health. And our first question is, which one of the following, he uses the word one, which one of the following is hormone releasing intrauterine device? So IUDs are used by females. Now, in the given option, it cannot be cervical cap, it cannot be vault. Now you have 2 types of IUDs. One is copper releasing IUD, but the question was related to hormone releasing. So thereby option B also is a wrong option. And we have LNG20, which releases the hormone. So I hope you know the hormone is nothing but progesterone. Okay, synthetic. So we mark the answer option A. Now let's see what's our next question. RCH. So this particular topic has lot of terms that we have to remember. So RCH stands for Reproductive and Child Health Care. So thereby option A is wrong, option B is wrong, option D is wrong, and our right option is reproductive and child health care. So all of you would have marked it correctly, no doubt at all. Next question. The use of a technique, amniocentesis. So we knew this particular technique was developed in order to study different types of genetic disorders. More than 1,500 genetic disorders can be identified by drawing the fluid, that is amniotic fluid, and multiplying the cell in a given environment of lab and studying the chromosome to understand what kind of disorder the child suffers from. But what did we do? In order to overcome this particular disorder, the technique was developed, but sex determination was done in the sense if it was a female feticide became more. Now we have put a ban on this particular technique. So the use of the technique of amniocentesis is for what? Detecting any genetic abnormalities, correct? Detecting sex of the unborn child, wrong. But we used it for this. Artificial insemination, wrong. Transfer of embryo into the uterus of surrogate mother. No, we are not talking about this art technique. So thereby our answer becomes option A, detecting any genetic abnormality. Let's see our next question. IUDs are used by females. So intrauterine device used by females. Block the entry of the sperm into vagina? Not at all. We have come across lippy loops, which is right now not being used, but it promotes phagocytosis. Copper T suppresses sperm motility and makes the internal environment unsuitable. And you have hormone releasing IUDs. Releases copper ion in the uterus, that increases phagocytosis. So this option B says one of the characteristics, I'll just put a tick mark. Acts has spermicidal jellies, not at all. And implanted under, so we are not talking about implants which is going to be placed in the skin to release progesterone and estrogen, wrong. So thereby our answer becomes option B for this particular question. Now with this, let's see our next question. We have matched the following. The contraceptive methods given under column 1 with their example given under column 2. So chemical. So chemical should be what? A is S. So now thereby D is gone. Next you have IUDs. IUDs copper T. So that means B becomes Q. So option A is removed. Next, C is barrier. So our barrier is said to be R here. So thereby C is R. So B is also removed. Next, let us take sterilization technique, tubectomy. Then D becomes P. So thereby your answer is option C. And I hope even you have marked your answer as option C for this question. Cross check it. It covers almost all the important points that we have to study under contraceptive method. Next, which one of the following contraceptive device makes the uterus unsuitable for what? Implantation. Then it should be hormone releasing IUDs. Lippies loop is for what? Only phagocytosis. So this is wrong. Copper releasing. Copper is being used in order to suppress the motility of the sperm. So I will remove it. Multi-loaded 375 also comes under what? Copper releasing. So this is also removed. So thereby your answer becomes what? Progesterone, because it releases progesterone hormone. Thereby our answer is going to be option C for this question. Okay. Questions are very easy because very direct question, and if you know the topic really well, I hope all the questions will come right. Now, the technique called gamete intrafallopian transfer. Gamete. We are transferring gamete. Why do you think we are transferring gamete? Maybe the female is unable to produce the gamete, so we are taking the ova from the donor and introducing it. Who cannot retain the fetus inside the uterus? Wrong. Who cannot produce ovum? Correct. Whose cervical canal is too narrow to allow the passage of the sperm? Wrong. Who cannot provide suitable environment for fertilization? Wrong. So thereby our answer for this question is who cannot produce an ovum. For them we are transferring the gamete. Okay. So thereby our answer becomes option B. Next, in vitro. Now what are we talking about? In vitro. Fusion of sperm and ova takes place in the lab, not in the body of a female. So it is in vitro fertilization technique, involves transfer of what? Embryo of 32 stage, wrong. Zygote only, wrong. Embryo only up to 8 cell stage, wrong. Because you also have an option, either the zygote or early embryo. So I am going to mark this as the answer. Now please understand. If this option D was not present, then we would have selected option C as the answer. So thereby our option becomes option D for this particular question. So you need to understand which is the most closely related answer for the question. Okay. Next, study the following statement and choose. I am highlighting the word correct option. So now let us understand the question. Women are at peak of contraception on 14th day of menstrual cycle. He is talking about what? The release of ova, that is ovulation. So that means what? Statement 1 here is said to be true. Vasectomy is a method normally employed to avoid contraception in females. So vasectomy is for what? Sterilization technique in males, where vas deferens is cut and knotted. So thereby second statement is said to be wrong. So what's our answer? Statement 1 is wrong. Wrong. Statement 1 is right. Second statement is wrong. Correct. Both the statements are right. Wrong. Both the statements are wrong. Wrong. So thereby we mark the answer option B for this question. Now let's see our next question. Copper ions released from copper releasing intrauterine device. You know what does copper do? From the starting of this particular topic, we have been speaking about copper brings about decreasing the sperm's motility. So thereby prevent ovulation is wrong. Blocks the fallopian tube, wrong. Makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation, wrong. Suppresses the motility of the sperm, thereby option D becomes our right answer. So don't you think this topic questions are super easy? Next, which one of the following is most widely accepted method of contraception in India? Okay, so I hope all of you studied your NCERT sentence very clearly. The answer for that is, without knowing the options what is given, it should be intrauterine device. Definitely it is not going to be diaphragm. IUDs is the right answer. Subcutaneous implants, wrong. Cervical caps, wrong. So thereby your answer is intrauterine devices. Hope that you know the answer. Next, test tube baby means a baby born when. So I hope you remember intracytoplasmic sperm injection. We take the ova through the microscope. We do observe it, holding it with respect to a vacuum tube. Through a micro injection, sperm is introduced into the cytoplasm of the ovum. So thereby we call it as intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So here everything happened in the lab. So we call it as in vitro fertilization. So now check what might be the answer. It is the development through tissue culture. You are not talking about production of plants here. So definitely option A is wrong. The ovum is fertilized externally and thereafter implanted into the uterus. Very true. Let us check the other options. It develops from non-fertilized ovum. Wrong. It is developed in a test tube. It is developed in a test tube. So our right option is going to be what? Option B. The ovum is fertilized externally and thereafter implanted in the uterus. Now, let's see the next question. Study the given statement and choose the correct option. You're talking about what? Correct option. Statement. Now, let us see what is the statement. Family planning is an action plan to attain reproductive health among the people. Now, what do you say? It is definitely correct. Statement 2. Improved programs covering reproductive related areas were propagated by RCH to create awareness among the people. Both the statements seems to be correct. So, I will select the option A, which says both the statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. So thereby B is wrong, C is wrong and D is wrong. So I hope you have marked the right answer. Next, assisted reproductive technology does not include. We are talking about art. So if the couples are unable to have kids after a few years of their marriage, they go for a technique which is called as art, and the question says does not include. So when we check does not include gamete intrafallopian transfer, we studied it as GIFT, gift. In vitro fertilization embryo transfer, this happens. Zygote this should be what? Intrafallopian transfer, it is given as extra. Artificial insemination does happen. So thereby our answer is option C for this question. Go ahead, mark your option as option C. Now with this, let's see what's our next question. Which among the following is hormonal method of birth control? So now see the option. Definitely diaphragm does not include hormone. Vasectomy is cutting of vas deferens and knotting it. It does not involve hormone. In case of pill, I am marking the answer because pills are created using sex hormone, estrogen and progesterone. And option D does not include. Okay. Next, vasectomy. Now just now we studied what is vasectomy. Cutting of vas deferens and knotting it. It's one of the sterilization technique for males. Prevents the production of semen. The accessory glands will definitely produce semen. It has nothing to do with it. So prevents the production of sperm in the testis. No way. Transport of the sperm, transport of the gamete is what is being blocked. Prevents the movement of the sperm into urethra, definitely because vas deferens has to join it. Prevents a man from having an erection. Wrong. We are not talking about the erectile tissue here. So thereby our answer becomes which one? Option C for this particular question. Okay. Which one of the following statement is true? I'm highlighting the word true regarding sexually transmitted diseases. Okay. Gonorrhea is completely curable. Okay, we did study some of the sexually transmitted disease cannot be cured. So in that we came across HIV, then hepatitis and genital herpes. Gonorrhea in early stage, definitely we can bring about cure. So I feel the first statement is wrong. So I'll put a tick mark. Hemophilia is one of the STD, completely wrong. It is what? A disorder which is passed from the parent, genetic disorder. So blood clotting is said to be very much slow. Next, a person may contract syphilis sharing milk with one already suffering from the disease. Syphilis is said to be sexually transmitted, so thereby wrong. Genital herpes and sickle cell anemia both are STDs. Sickle cell anemia is not a sexually transmitted disease. Option D is wrong. So thereby our answer is what? Option A for this particular question. Now with this, let's see what's our next question going to be. In which of the technique the donor semen is artificially introduced into the uterus? So what did we study? It has intrauterine insemination. I'm marking option A. It's not intravaginal insemination. It's not gamete intrafallopian transfer. It is not going to be intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So thereby option A is said to be our right answer. Next question. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Okay. We're going to find out which of the following statement is incorrect. Incidence of infection of STD is maximum in individuals between 15 to 24. It's the right statement, right? Okay. WHO has defined reproductive health as a total well-being, physical, emotional, behavior and social aspects of reproduction. Correct. Family planning program was initiated in 1951 in India. Correct. So thereby the answer becomes what? Option D for us. So I hope even you have marked the option. So this is one of the topic which we can score complete marks. So you have been answering all the questions till now, and I hope none of you would have made a mistake. So this is our last question of this particular discussion. The stage transferred into the uterus after induced fertilization of ova in the lab. Now what do you think? Clusters of cells should be there. So we call that particular stage as what? Morula. Let us check. It's not going to be embryo with 2 blastomeres. Wrong. It's not going to be with 4 blastomeres. Now you have 2 options. After in vitro fertilization, the cell stage is called as zygote. But we wait until the zygote is going to multiply, form a cluster of cell. If it is morula, we are going to transfer it into the fallopian tube. So thereby the answer becomes what? Morula. So mark your option as what? Morula for this particular question. So there you go. We finished with the discussion part. That means what? We are going to start with what is called as assignment questions. So before I start discussing the assignment question, your assignment work has to be completed. Once you're done with it, I shall explain, you shall cross-check. So until then, keep practicing lot number of MCQs. So take care of yourself and the people around you. Bye for now.